Well, as America sleeps, the men and women at Malmstrom Air Force Base are awake across the quiet farmlands of Montana.
MTN's Margaret DeMarco is on special assignment with an exclusive look inside the missile alert facilities that not only protect the United States, but also our allies.
You drive past these missile alert facilities every day on Montana highways, but might not realize it. Americans just like you are pulling alert 24/7 to protect the nation.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Our crew has to take an elevator 60 feet below ground to be able to access the first launch control center to go on alert.
I think that most people in America aren't really aware of what my job is.
As we enter the capsule, we are told we are unable to film majority of the equipment in the room.
We're able to provide strategic deterrence 24/7, 365, and that wouldn't be possible if we didn't have so many hardworking, dedicated people.
But for First Lieutenant Michelle Governor and First Lieutenant Betsy Castro, they do not start their day in the field.
If something pops up, we'll disseminate that information throughout the squadron.
Before the members of the 10th Missile Squadron head into the missile complex, they have a morning briefing.
Whatever maintenance we have going on, whatever activities we'll have in the field, we'll plan how we'll effectively execute all of that for the day.
After the briefing, Governor and Castro drive out to Alpha, which was the first launch control center to go on alert in 1962. The missile complex at Malmstrom Air Force Base spans 13,800 square miles and is the largest complex in the United States.
Each launch control center is in charge of 10 LFs. So Alpha is in charge of Alpha 2 through Alpha 11.
2 missileers are on alert at all times at each of the 15 launch control centers across Malmstrom.
There was a crew out here this morning that we relieved them, so we'll get a brief of everything that they did on their 24-hour shift.
Once they have secured the capsule, Governor and Castro will release the other crew and take control of the launch control center.
The crazy thing about this job is you can be doing it for years, and you'll never know enough. There's so much to learn, there's so many things that change that you always have to be on your toes.
Though most people might believe these men and women press a big red button to launch a missile.
There is no big red button. That is a big misconception, but unfortunately there is no big red button.
Missileers are in the field for 24 hours at a time, but for security forces, chefs, and facility managers, they can stay at a launch control center for up to 5 days.
We get our vehicles, we arm up, we do guard mount, and then we post out here.
741st Security Forces Squadron Staff Sergeant Brandon Penix has one of the most important jobs on the site.
My job is to maintain the security. I watch all the sites and I let people on and off the sites and on and off the MAF.
Penix also keeps in constant contact with the missileers, and he coordinates with the other security forces members who are posted out.
So if we got an alarm at an LF, we'd get an indication and then we would direct our security forces team to respond to that.
Airman First Class Michael Young would be one of the security forces members who would respond to an alarm.
Like, it's always thrilling. Like, you deal with new experiences, you deal with all kinds of people and stuff like that. So
one of the hardest parts of each job is being away from home.
Let me get that.
But these men and women are committed to service before self.
Just because my fellow citizens aren't aware of what I'm doing, my adversaries are, and that is what makes me proud to do the job that I do.
These missile alert facilities haven't changed much since the 1960s, and neither has their mission. On special assignment, I'm Margaret DeMarco, MTN News.
Alpha has a long-standing history. It was brought on alert during the height of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Alpha 6 is known as President John F. Kennedy's ace in the hole.